Dr. Sohini Chakraborty is a well-recognized contributor to the study of relief for Indian girls and women facing gender-based violence. She received her bachelor's in sociology from the University of Calcutta and went on to receive her PhD from the University of Mumbai in 2019. Throughout her educational career, Dr. Chakraborty has been involved with dance, describing dance as the driving force that has formed her methodology of DMT or dance movement therapy. She's been in the field of women's activism for 26 years, focusing her research on gender-based violence and the healing implications of dance therapy. Her work has founded the non-profit organization Kolkata Sanved. Dr. Chakraborty's foundation works to provide access to DMT as well as educate other academics about how dance can confront gendered violence. They hope to further research on how DMT could even promote healthy masculinity. Throughout her career, Dr. Chakraborty has been recognized with the True Legend Award, the DFB Award, the Newsmaker 2012 Award. Her 2013 book, Dance Movement Therapy and Psychosocial Rehabilitation, introduces Chakraborty's method of dance and sociology.
However, she claims her most proud achievement is her independence. It is her aim to both continue this path she has chosen for herself, as well as initiate change so more women can claim empowerment. Dr. Chakraborty's research and work has improved and continues to change the lives of women. By empowering women and stopping the cycle of gender-based violence, Dr. Chakraborty has seen improvements for the next generation. In her free time, she loves watching movies, listening to music, chatting with friends, and engaging in self-care. Please join us in welcoming Dr. Chakraborty for her insight on confronting gender-based violence in India through dance movement therapy.
Whose phone? Okay. A very good afternoon, and thank you for giving this opportunity and sharing our knowledge with BYU. It was, the introduction was wonderful, the way you introduced me. Let me start with Let me start with my story, because here is a lot of young people I am seeing sitting. So when I was at the age of 21 and I was using like student of sociology and dancer, and an idea was my mind that how I can use dance and sociology together. So with this idea, when I was walking down in Calcutta Book Fair in Kolkata, a poster, really, I saw a poster with a girl's face with a poem. They sell me my own blood for some gold and some silver. I rinse and rinse my mouth, but the taste of treachery remains. I am no more bride to be, I am no more mother to be, I am no more future to be. So this poster is really hammer me as a student, as a young person. And then and there, I decided that I will be using dance where girls and women can say, I am mother to be, bride to be, future to be. So I really didn't waste any time with this idea. I just went to that NGO and shared that this is my idea, and they said, okay, look, this is a nice idea, but we cannot invest on this because, as we know, 27 years back, even in my country context, like dance is still now very marginalized, and using dance for social change was, people cannot even think about that. So I said, I do not need any money. I only need the space for experimentation and exploration, whether this idea will work or not. So that's how everything has been started in 1994. And then I really worked with survivors of gender-based violence, especially with the sexual violence and human trafficking. With them, I started to work and experiment for 8 to 9 years. And this really, it's started lot of it showing lot of benefits and the result. And with them, like with whom I have worked with the survivors in a rehabilitation space. So with them, I founded the organization in 2004, Kolkata Sanved. So why I am telling this story? Because this is very important to know the history and the foundation of the organization, because this organization believe that survivor or any kind of lived experience has the best expertise. So 60 to 70% employee of the organization also emerge either from grassroots or from survivor and take their livelihood as a creative practitioner or a dance movement therapy practitioner, and leading their life. So, and they are not only act as a practitioner, but they are also in a leadership position in the organization. And our mission is like we use dance movement therapy, dance and dance movement therapy for psychosocial rehabilitation, healing, empowerment, and reintegration. So, though our major methodology is using dance movement therapy, but also when we talk about our goal, dream, and purpose, we really promote dance, DMT, and arts as a medium for transforming individual lives to lead with dignity, creating spaces. We believe we need to create lot of healing spaces because people require that. So creating those spaces to express, fully express, heal and empower, and mainstreaming dance and DMT art as a collaborative and shared vision. So it's a collaborative model. We believe that change cannot happen stand alone. We need to work together. So these three is our goal, dream, and purpose. And let's go to an overview of the context. So let me start with the global context of gender-based violence. So so there is a global gender gap report in 2020 which is saying none of us will see gender parity in our lifetimes, and nor likely will many of our children. The Global Gender Gap Report findings reveal that gender parity will not be attained for next 99.5 years. And we know UN Women Report said 1 in 3 women worldwide experiencing some form of physical or sexual violence in their lifetime. And globally, an estimated 736 million women have been subjected to GBV. So this is a global context, so it's a global challenge. It's not only any local or regional, context, but I also share with you the Indian context as well. So I think the context-wise, two things is very important. The gender-based discrimination against women and girls is very prevalent within the country, and this is because sometime of their gender, and also gender norms often exert pressure on women and girls, influencing their behaviors, roles in society. Most of the time the girls and women normalize the violence. Even if you, some of you, if you ever worked with any survivor of gender based violence, you can see how people normalize the cycle of violence. So India has the largest adolescent population in the world, 253 million, and every fifth person is between 10 to 9 years. So about 43% of girls to drop out before completing secondary education due to their household responsibility or marriage or child labor or human trafficking. One estimate suggests that each year at least 1.5 million girls under 18 get married, and which is a huge data and alone accounting for a third of the global level. And nearly 30% married women in India face domestic violence. And in 2021, we can see the rape cases reported in India around over 31,000. It's only reported. So non-reported, we do not know, how much. So according to NCRB data, that 28.9% of the entire child population experienced some form of sexual crime, yet only 65.6% of these crimes were reported. Um, Despite of child labor, the issue of child labor has been, declining. Still, there is lot of, kind of bonded labor, commercial sexual exploitation, and trafficking across India. A recent government commissioned by the Department of Women and Child Development estimate that a number of 2.8 million girls and women are the persons are trafficked in and in commercial sexual exploitation. So this is a basic, giving a context because it's very important. We will come that why DMT, why Kolkata Sanved started this program. So from this is the major context where a lot of people are doing lot of work like to reduce the gender based violence, but what we found that no one is really talking about or working on the mental health. Not no one, rarely people are working on the mental health and well being, which is focusing on the body based work, because when we are facing gender based violence or sexual violence, so trauma occurs in the body. So a body-based intervention is required, which need to be culturally contextualized. And also, like, if you see the model, most of the model is either clinical or biomedical. So even in India, there is a like not there is a scarcity of mental health professional as per the entire large population. So a shortage of mental health, personnel in India also exists. So we can see the data: 2 mental health workers and 0.3 psychiatrists per 100,000 population, which is, so how, so individual session or only talk therapy is really, and how many people will be accessing that in the low resource setting. So when there is lot of other challenges like poverty, other life challenges, socio-economic, so that's how we decided we will not developing any shelter home. We are not developing any drop-in center. We will bring this culturally contextualized because, as we said, we all have body, right? Yes or no? Yes, and we all move. Yes? And we found dance and art every culture, irrespective of the all over the world. Dance is in every culture. Yes or no? Yes. And in India, there is every state, even within the state, every district have a huge element of, art and dance available. So then when I worked, then, we have decided, it started with me, then it became us. So how here dance and sociology is coming. How dance can reclaim the body, it's work with the body. So if you really empowered with your body, your emotional empowerment can come easily. So that's how we started to work, and this entire scenario and absence of culturally contextualized model. Even when I search for dance movement therapy model globally, though it's evolved from United States and other parts of Europe like Laban and other, but rarely you can find a culturally contextualized model which is community focused beyond clinical, which is talking about the overall well-being, not for self, but also a collective well-being. So that's how Kolkata Sanved, these are the context where we brought the entire dance movement therapy program. So now what is dance movement therapy? So dance movement therapy, how many of you are aware about? Okay. So dance movement therapy is a holistic, it's an interdisciplinary approach because it's talk about dance, movement analysis, and different psychological theories to mental health and well-being. And DMT is a form of creative art therapy that uses dance and movement to promote emotional, cognitive, social, and physical integration and well being. And it's defined that psychotherapeutic use of movement involved and able to achieve the goal of people who wanted to achieving their physical, emotional, and psychological goals. Yeah. So why DMT? Now the question is why DMT? So three a very important reason. A, we all have body, yes or no? Yes. We all have movement. We move? Yes. And we all have rhythm. So body mind connection, you do not need any external support. Only you need your own support to come term with your bodies, with friendly, with comfort, creating space, and recover from trauma. So body-mind connection. Second is it's a low-cost model. Dance is available in every culture, circle dance, folk dance, different form of dance. It's not required any like super, cost. So this is accessible for people and people are aware about it, people know about it, and it has a power to enhance gender equality because it's the work, the process, at least Kolkata Sanved work, it's a center. It's the body is the center of the work. So where if I am reclaiming my body, I am easily able to reclaiming my space in the society. And I can really break out from the cycle of violence. So this is the three reason where DMT, came a prime, dance and DMT came a prime workforce for Kolkata Sanved. We do not do anything else. Only use dance, DMT and arts for social change. And reduce that, yeah. So now come to the model. Kolkata Sanved model is known as a model Sampurnata. Sampurnata means fulfillment or potential, like where one individual can find their own potential and fulfillment and visioning their life. Whatever challenges, whatever pain, whatever trauma they are going through. So it's understanding the larger Indian context to integrate DMT, socio-cultural, socio-economic, socio-political, and psychophysical, psychosocial factors. And we work in three areas. So prevention of gender-based violence and mental health and well-being, also psychosocial rehabilitation and promotion. These three are our working pillars. And we also cater 5 SDG goals, Sustainable Development Goals, SDG 3, good health and well-being. Everyone have the right to live with healthy mind and bodies. So that is one. Quality education, definitely a critical thinking, life skill, and how you can develop a different kind of education to build your life. Gender equality, working on the body, peace, justice, and strong institution, and partnership and collaboration. So these 5 sustainable development goal where Kolkata Sanved is constantly contributing. Population group, we work that this model majorly catered for survivors of human trafficking and gender-based violence, physical, emotional, sexual abuse, neglect, any form of gender-based violence. Also, we work with at-risk children, youth, women living in government and NGO like non-profit run child care institution, rural community, urban slum, red light areas like brothels, children in conflict with law, people living with mental illness, school children, and other individuals. The principle, Sampurnata method adapted the core principle of global dance movement therapy and laid it foundation under its culturally context and Indian context. So the 4 core principle is DMT as a creative methodology. So the creativity is the power. It's a body-based method. It is a method that is able to move beyond the hegemony of verbal creation. So not all the time people have to talk. So you can really express, because as a human, non-verbal expression and experience is the core. So finding that is one of the core principle of also in Sampurnata, and it also has in dance and art. So DMT is an experiential methodology. So you have to experience. It cannot be happen through, a lecture only. So people need to experience, feel, move, and come up with their process. Theoretical framework of Sampurnata is three. So mainly it focusing on strength-based perspective, critical psychology, and positive psychology. So we believe and help people to identifying, building upon their strength, whatever ability you have. So strength, we believe that every individual in this world have their own strength, resources, capability, wherever they are, exist. And critical psychology is, helping during the process, helping an individual to question and reflect to the self, and question to reflect to society also. So constantly questioning the status quo. So, and also believing that mental health factor is not only depending on the illness or disorder, it's also depend on the socio-economic, socio-political, socio-cultural factor and the context you are living in. So this is the critical psychological factor, and the positive psychology is the positive aspects of any human experience. So these three are majorly the theoretical foundation. And this model emerged from dance movement therapy, but goes beyond dance movement therapy, because it's talking about the social change, social transformation, which is not only confined within a clinical setup. So it's a community focus beyond clinical, culturally contextualized model. So it's believe in investing on individual minimum 3 to 5 years. So when we work in a community, we invest on them 3 to 5 years of span, so that, because your growth, human growth is a lifespan approach, so people really get a amount of time to grow themselves. So we facilitate the process, so they create their own well-being pathways. So this is a cost-effective and right-based perspective, and available in low-resource setting, where any mental health well-being services or other kind of awareness programs is not available. We are there. So serve the wider population in the society, focus on healing, well-being, and empowerment, not focusing only the illness and challenges, focusing on the well-being, focusing on the strength, focusing on other things. So seeing the life more holistically, this approach invests in its participants, what I said, for a long time, and working towards building an ecosystem for well-being. So beyond clinical, I already spoke that its focus, it's critically, it's not teaching an individual medically or clinically, and more individual need within the group and their communities. And social focus is that successful reintegration into the society, and also the participants with whom, or population group with whom we work, we create an huge opportunity to become young change maker, leaders, and dance movement therapy practitioner or a creative practitioner. So that's a big thing, and we run a dance movement therapy leadership development academy for the community and for the survivor who wanted to become a future young leader for their community, and paying back to the community to heal, for healing and well-being. As I said, that we believe that survivor to DMT practitioner is the main, it's the embedded in the model, and that's the model of Sampurnata. And also it's a kind of giving importance of the lived experience. So they are the best expert of knowledge. Even we are going with a DMT expertise in the community, but we are sharing a space. So we say the co-creation of a space. It's a collective space where we are honoring the lived experience and like understanding that they are the best knowledge expert. So elements of Sampurnata, it's a group process, not individual. It's working with 20 participants in a community or a shelter home or anywhere with 2 facilitators, 2 dance movement therapy practitioners. So 2:20, or if it is a high clinical population like post-traumatic stress disorder, so 2:10. So always 2 facilitators are there. The curriculum of the model inspired by spontaneous movement of individual improvisation and therapeutic elements of Indian dance and other Indian elements. So we use breathing, footstep, hand gesture, shape, body shape, navaras, 9 emotions, group dance, folk dance, rhythm, meditation, and healing touch. This model is inspired by pioneers' history, global pioneers' history and approaches, and adapt philosophy from them and move beyond. This is the psycho-social process, like movement for all, and then expression of unconscious, working on the emotion, then the body-mind process, integration of self, transformation, restoring lost dignity and identity, and then successful reintegration. Some, example of a few indicator when we work, what we really look at, like at the physical level, health, stamina, comfort, and peace of one's body. Emotional and cognitive level, emotional self-regulation, cognitive self-regulation, behavior self-regulation, social, positive self-image and identity. So these are the few example. And when we are talking about the empowerment, so we are talk about personal empowerment, where emotional empowerment, overcoming stigma, skill to raise voice and opinion, skill to access social support, economic empowerment, social empowerment or social change, and tool for psychosocial rehabilitation and reintegration. Core activities of every dance movement therapy session. So it uses opening rituals, warm up, a process, relaxation, healing touch, group discussion, reflection, debrief. So this is the process looks like this. It's a inner and interpersonal. So Sampurnata process bring out the psychosocial element. So inner changes in physical and the emotional level is the inner transformation, and cognitive and social level is interpersonal. Recovery and healing process in Sampurnata is just quickly I'm going through, like identified one's strength and potential, acknowledging the state of body and mind, take step towards healthy state of body and mind, build healthy coping mechanism, re-establish own identity, ready to paying forward to others. So these are few kind of examples. Sampurnata is a feminist model because it's reclaiming the body is at center of the entire process. Body is important because gender rules influences how we move. Free movement breaks women's body restriction. Emphasis on loving and caring for the body. Participants' sense of agency to make their own choices using their body. So my body is my mind. It is not an object for someone else to see or use. My sexuality is not dirty or bad. I can use my body fully to express myself. I can use my body for my own pleasure. So people get freedom in the body. They are breaking the gender rules using the entire DMT. And it's also talking about the well-being, so nurturing the self-care to collective care. So it's starting with self, but it's looking at the collective model and then personal well-being to social well-being. So in social well-being, actually an individual growing to addressing other social issues. How I I can be part of reducing gender-based violence or child marriage or any other exploitation, or stand up for myself and stand up for the community. So it's not only self, it's also going beyond the self. So awareness, connection, healing, and co-creation of collective care space where collaboratively people are not acknowledging their own pain, struggle, and challenge, they are also acknowledging others' pain, struggle, and challenge. Yeah, so as I said, it's a holistic development, process, and it's a non-linear process. It's not linear. It's not same line. There is lot of, ups and downs. I already spoke about this. It's a holistic development of self contribution to the community. And this is like and we called it an emancipatory model of DMT, where people see themselves not only in body, mind, and society, and see them fully to grow from physical trauma to positive body image, from emotional trauma to positive thoughts and resilience, from social trauma to building agency and positive self-image. So empowerment and psychosocial rehabilitation and re-establishing identity happened here. Yeah, so we really run lot of academic training with our program. So there is many categories. So one is therapeutic movement practitioner, which we develop into the community, like mental health professional or other caregivers. They come to Kolkata Sanved and trained in 120 hours curriculum or 200 hours and become therapeutic movement facilitator. Then DMT practitioner. So becoming a DMT practitioner, you need minimum 660 hours of training. And DMT advanced practitioner is 970 hours of training. And then gradually you reach to dance movement therapy space. So this is a different kind of training, and this training we run, one is with one university, national university like Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Mumbai, and also we run one grassroots level, which I said, the Dance Movement Therapy Leadership Development Academy. So 2 academic programs run simultaneously, and also we serve lot of community, which I spoke earlier. So trauma recovery program is the reaching out to different community and shelter home and care home, like care institution, and this is the kind of building training of trainer and practitioner who can further take this to the others. So we are also invest on lot of evidence generation. So need assessment, process documentation, data analysis. We use both qualitative, quantitative methodology. We developed our group dance movement therapy scale, which is adopted from group climate questionnaire. So these, and also like we collaborate with lot of organization, and recently with a government agency, we have completed a research assessing the mental health status children living in care institution. So those kind of things we are constantly, doing, and monitoring, evaluation, impact, and reflection are embedded into the entire program. Measuring impact is monthly report, observation, participants' feedback, analysis, regular monitoring evaluation process, and there are set indicators for that. And we have a lot of publication. One is definitely my book, Dance Movement Therapy and Psychosocial Rehabilitation. So if anyone interested to buy, there is a QR code also. And we constantly publish our, this, because it is a new methodology. So we constantly do publishing in different journal. Impact, till now we have worked with more than 65,000 survivors, touched their life, more than 200,000 people connected with the program. Over last 12 years, we have 161 graduated community practitioners and more than 250 practitioners who came to our postgraduate diploma academy. And yeah, quality control, I said, that is part of the process. It's a continuous process. We have also a lot of challenges because it's a new idea. Dance and DMT for social change, it's very hard to believe how it's reduced gender equality, how it's, and we invest on people. It's a process-based work. It's not result. We cannot show you any result by 1 month. So people has to really stay, and we saw that if you really want to create an impact, and as a gender-based violence, we know it's lot of behavioral and mind setup as well. So we take times. So it's kind of, any result if you want to see 5 to 6 years, and then people become ambassador for us. So that is a big challenge. And also re-traumatization, like survivor becoming healer, trauma survivor, there is a chance of re-traumatization, but that doesn't mean that they cannot be functional. But only thing, they need to know how to cope up and, take strategy and ask for help. That entire self-care, personal growth for the Kolkata Sanved DMT practitioner and the employee also has been embedded in the model so that we can really prevent the re-traumatization. And converting DMT as a livelihood option, dance movement therapy still is a self-employed profession globally, not only. And in India, it is very nascent stage, though we are working on it so that people little bit ready. And definitely scarcity of funding. So these are the challenges we are continuously, facing. Opportunity and scope to collaborate, as we believe on collaboration, and Kolkata Sanved is a collaborative model. So we do a lot of international collaboration, and we welcome BYU also, if any international. Already we do with Marine in Department of Dance, she teaches also in our academic program. So collaboration for joint research, collaboration for joint course, formulation, any international community-focused program, knowledge exchange, collaboration in teaching at the academic level, joint webinar or collaborative campaign, creating a range of mental health practitioner in the grassroots, and we are very open for any internship or volunteers who come in the organization. So the world is a much happier place when we move together. Thank you very much, with lot of strength, positivity, and gratitude. Not from me, also from Kolkata Sanved team. Thank you for listening, or any question.
Dr. Sohini Chakraborty's research and work with dance movement therapy helps women, girls, and mothers to recover and show self-expression from gender-based violence, gender inequality. She signs off her emails with the vision and mission of her foundation. It says, and I quote, "Vision to form a healthy, violence-free, gender-equal, creative society of empowered individuals. Mission to build the ecosystem of dance movement therapy for change across Asia and to create leaders and changemakers in the field, especially from unprivileged communities. In an effort to achieve this, we are aiming to set up a center of excellence on dance movement therapy in India and South Asia." End quote. Her experiment with dance movement therapy has helped women be able to feel empowered and to help empower their children. These women feel personal, economic, and social empowerment through dance movement therapy. Chakraborty's model has been able to help the next generation focus on their education and fight for equality. Chakraborty's research shows the importance of fighting against gender-based violence in hopes of ending gender inequality and empowering women to reclaim their bodies. This helps to create empowered women who turn to empower other women from personal experience and support. One of Dr. Chakraborty's dreams is to create a center of creativity and social change.
Creative well-being. Center for Creative Well-being and Social Change.
She hopes one day to help different populations and maybe one day create a program that focuses on teaching men and boys about positive masculinity and one day enable them to help find positive masculinity in themselves. Dr. Chakraborty's research is important to global women's studies by helping women learn, heal, and support other women, men, and children. We can learn from women in India how to fight for our own empowerment and freedom in order to end gender-based violence and inequality. We learn of the power women have in their own lives and how women can change the world with love and kindness. Dance movement therapy will help women all over the world change their lives and others. As Dr. Chakraborty said, dance changes lives, and the world is a much happier place when we move together. Thank you for your presentation, and we will now turn over the time to Leanie for our Q&A portion.
So thank you. My first question, I'm a sociology major, so I was really interested in how your undergraduate degree kind of led you to where you are now. And so my question is, what advice would you have for sociology majors or other majors to kind of find their passions and to use their undergrad to make a path for themselves, even if it's not like the clearest or most like the safest option?
Yeah, so what I think the first thing is believing in yourself when you are, studies. So this time in a young age, lot of ideas and lot of, and you can see your intuition. Be bold with that. This is a safe risk. If you are taking an idea for experimentation, there will be no harm. So don't get, frightened or fearful, like whether you will be success or it will be completely, failed. It's okay. Like in Kolkata Sanved, for doing lot of, years of work, we started to say that we embrace failures. Not everything also when we work immediately, we get the success. I think that's fear factor also a big thing when you are young and working. But I think I always encourage young people, and when I was also young, just go, with what you are believing and with your idea and experiment that. And also, sociology gives you a space to think critically about the society. So when you are thinking critically, also I said that even in gender-based violence, if we wanted to reduce that, so we need to bring a lot of practices within ourselves. So start to questioning yourself and question back to the society also. So constantly challenge the status quo. So I think those are the few learning I can share which I practice. So that's all.
I think we have time for one question. Do we have one on Zoom or okay, perfect.
You can come here.
I have a microphone here, if that works. From Zoom we have, how can we use DMT to help break down the rape culture that exists in our community?
Yeah, so I think that's why I said we have to build, I think we heard that the gender gap report. So we really have to develop a lot of collective care space. So in the collective care and collective well-being, which is a holistic well-being, which is not talking about myself, my own healthy mind and bodies, but also talk about, other social issues and how we can build that. And that's why I said that when we are talking about also, women empowerment, we need to also working with the men. That's very important. And Kolkata Sanved is also just started to pilot a work on positive masculinity using, the dance movement therapy. Mostly we are focusing on the emotional awareness and how they perceive the body, how they, society's opinion about the male kind of concept. So it's not only working with the women and girls, it's very important also working with the men and boys. If we really, and bring them into this kind of discussion space. It's very important.
We are out of time. Thank you so much for coming and speaking with us today. Please join me in giving Dr. Chakraborty one more round of applause.
Thank you.